Thanks for joining us for KSAT News at 9. I'm Courtney Friedman. An additional COVID-19 related death in Bexar County tonight brings our local death toll to 71. The total number of people with confirmed COVID-19 cases is now up to 2,583, and hospital numbers ticked up again tonight. 95 COVID-19 patients remain hospitalized, 41 in intensive care, and 22 are on ventilators. Despite the increase, Bexar County's hospital capacity remains steady, with 31% of staffed hospital beds available and 79% of ventilators still available. More programs and help on the way for people in Texas addicted to opioids. The Texas State Attorney General and attorneys representing Bexar and other counties against opioid companies have figured out how to distribute the imminent settlement money. At least 70 cents from every dollar in each settlement will go to the yet-to-be-formed Texas Opioid Council. The 13-member council will be made up of medical professionals and remediation experts who will create a process for counties or organizations to apply for the funds to create treatment facilities.
Our job is to get those resources in terms of remediation dollars down to the city and county level where they can be spent wisely to treat our fellow citizens who, through no fault of their own, have become addicts of these very addictive drugs.
McCall Watts, the attorney who represents Bexar County in the lawsuit, says there are already settlements on the table ready to be divided. He anticipates those funds will be available in about a year. Texas may be reopening, but healthcare professionals want to be clear. COVID-19 is still spreading, and we should expect a second wave at some point. Tiffany Huerta spoke to medical experts about when that second wave is expected to come and what the community should be doing to prepare.
In infectious diseases, it's usually pretty typical for you to have a second wave, so we are anticipating that.
Metro Health Director Dr. Don Emmerich keeping a close eye on the indicators here in the city. While cases increase, our positivity rate continues to drop, and the time it takes to double our cases has slowed down.
Right now, we're seeing there's nothing there for us to even have a small indication that there's a spike or a second wave coming. There will be. When will that happen? We don't know.
The executive director of the American Public Health Association also believes there will be a second wave, but is not sure what the pattern will be.
It could kind of stutter along all summer as more and more people get exposed to the virus, or it could behave very much like the flu season, meaning that we had a bad rise of the disease this winter, and then it could come back with a vengeance in the fall and winter.
Dr. Georges Benjamin says now is the time communities should be planning ahead.
Look at reestablishing their supply lines, thinking about what they need if they had another wave for personal protective gear. Again, thinking about how they're going to get ventilators.
Dr. Angela Clendenin, who teaches at Texas A&M School of Public Health, has also been doing case investigations and contact tracing for Brazos County.
From an epidemiological perspective, the most interesting thing is no two people have the same symptoms.
Dr. Clendenin says as the state reopens, there will be another wave.
A second wave, multiple waves, until COVID becomes endemic and settles into that cyclical pattern, it's going to happen.
No one can guarantee how large this wave will be or when it will actually happen.
That was Tiffany Huertas reporting. Money for businesses, residents, and workers. That's the goal of the city's COVID-19 Community Recovery and Resiliency Plan that was presented to council today. The plan divides nearly $191 million to four major areas: workforce development, housing security, small business support, and digital inclusion. Portions of the money comes from the $270 million the city received through the federal CARES Act. Mayor Ron Nirenberg says he's looking forward to using the fund to better our community.
If we're doing our jobs right, we're understanding that a majority of people have been affected by this economic crisis, and they're teetering on the edge. They want action.
City staff will have a final version for the city council to vote on next week. They've been shuffled around foster homes and centers, some while pregnant and caring for children. People told them the odds were not in their favor. Yet today, 5 teens and young adults are high school graduates looking towards bright futures. Here's a look at the emotional first ever graduation for the charter school at the Foster Center, SJRC, Texas.
People doubted me. People was like, you're not going to make it. You're just going to drop out, or all this stuff. But I had to remember that it's not about what other people think. You know, it's about how it's going to affect my life and my son's life and what's going to be better for our future.
That inspiring attitude is what led 20-year-old Tiaja Warren to her high school diploma.
I had to say a speech for the whole, class, and it was fun. We got our diplomas. We took pictures. I got to take pictures of my son.
3 years ago, she was pregnant with her son and moved to SJRC, a foster care facility formerly known as St. Jude's Ranch for Children. The New Braunfels campus is specifically for foster girls who are pregnant and parenting. It's where 18-year-old Natalia Davis lives too, with her 2-year-old son. She just graduated alongside Warren and 3 other girls, making up the SJRC Charter School's first ever graduating class.
It makes me feel like I can accomplish everything I want to.
Yeah.
Now that I have that, I know that I can move on.
The University of Texas System's charter school opened just 2 years ago on SJRC's Bulverde campus. At any one time, there are about 40 to 45 students able to catch up if they're behind and get that one-on-one attention.
You don't feel like you're different when you're with the same people that's in the same situation as you, Yeah. Because, at a regular high school, it's different people look at you different because, the way you are, the way where you're living at and stuff like that.
That's why graduation day this week was so special and emotional for the 5 graduates, the staff, their mentors, and their family members.
These kids are so resilient and they work so hard and they deserve it. And it was just a probably one of my top 10 best days that I've had in my career. It was incredible.
Warren is enrolling at San Antonio College hoping to be a nurse. Davis is headed to cosmetology school. Futures they've earned and deserve. Congratulations to all those graduates. Let's turn now to tonight's 9 at 9, a look at protests after the death of a Minneapolis black man. Unemployment claims continue to spike, and a look at how COVID-19 is impacting communities around the globe. Here's tonight's 9 at 9. People outraged over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis protested again last night. Those protests turned violent, and officials say there were at least 30 fires started as a result. The mayor says the confrontations and the pain it's revealed are deeply rooted.
Anger and sadness that has been ingrained in our black community, not just because of 5 minutes of horror, but 400 years.
The mayor has called for the officer involved to be arrested. That officer was seen on very disturbing cell phone video holding his knee on Floyd's neck as Floyd can be heard saying he can't breathe. Here at home,
after last night's big storms, insurance claims are now pouring in.
USAA alone had more than 4,000 claims by mid-afternoon.
We actually have through the COVID crisis, gone to a lot of virtual estimating. And we can do it all online through photos and digitally.
If you have storm damage, insurers suggest you contact your carrier immediately, make temporary repairs to prevent further damage, hang on to receipts, and be especially wary of potential fraud. The United Kingdom likely has the highest actual coronavirus death rate compared to countries like Italy, Spain, and even the United States. That's according to an analysis by the Financial Times newspaper. The figures, which use historical data to compare total deaths beginning from mid-March, provide an estimate of actual deaths related to the coronavirus beyond the official numbers of confirmed virus-related deaths. The estimates are considered helpful because many people who died were not tested and not officially recorded as victims of COVID-19. Researchers have found that cancer patients are more likely to die after contracting coronavirus than others. A recent study found that patients with advanced cancer were more than 5 times more likely to succumb to the virus. And even if cancer wasn't spreading, coronavirus infection nearly doubled a patient's risk of dying. Another 2.1 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week. More than 40 million Americans have now filed for first-time unemployment benefits since the U.S. economy shut down from the pandemic. Altogether, that means that nearly 1 in 4 Americans have filed for unemployment benefits since March. The Carrizo Plain will soon be the site of a new oil well and pipeline. Getting the well approved for this portion of California has been a back-and-forth battle for a couple of years now, after a conservation group filed an objection, saying the well would put wildlife in danger and damage the climate. Millions of people in Latin America and the Caribbean are at risk of hunger, according to the United Nations World Food Program. The group estimates that nearly 14 million people could experience severe food insecurity because of coronavirus this year. This is mostly due to the economic impact and job loss. Migrants and children are particularly at risk. Netflix won't be participating in any festivals this season, but the streaming giant told IndieWire they're still going to sponsor some festivals. These events are key for producers and media to get the word out on their movies. This 1762 vintage cognac sold for $146,000 at an online auction today. Sotheby's auction house says the exceedingly rare Gautier cognac is one of the oldest surviving cognacs in the world. Only 3 bottles are left. To read more about these stories, head to KSAT.com. Well, Katie, you've been just a little bit busy today.
Oh, man.
Scratch that this week.
The whole weather team, I mean, really since Sunday, really impressed with our team. We get a bit weary of the weather, I think, because we know that, for some people, severe weather anxiety is a real thing. And so this week could have been really rough for you. Essentially, each day we had a chance of thunderstorms, some severe thunderstorms this week as well. That includes today. If you were with us this afternoon, there was a severe thunderstorm watch posted, but that was canceled early. So I do want to update you there. No portion of the KSAT viewing area remains under a severe thunderstorm watch. And really, when we look out on Doppler radar, all of those storms from this afternoon and early this evening are well down to the south. We're picking up on a little bit of light shower activity now, really north of San Antonio and Highway 90, but we're not expecting this to develop into anything larger than that. And as you look well down to the south, there goes those storms from earlier this afternoon. So a little bit of lingering rain possible, but even all the thunderstorm activity itself is off into Mexico, and things will be quiet for the rest of the night. During the day tomorrow, there will be a higher chance for some thunderstorms, but it's going to be well to the south of us here in San Antonio. It's going to be down in deep South Texas during the day tomorrow, and we're going to keep you rain free not only on Friday, but also into the upcoming weekend. So if you've been anxious about the weather this week, just know you can kind of breathe a bit easier tonight and through the upcoming weekend. Here's a look at your Friday forecast. More cloud cover in the morning. We'll start off near 70 degrees, get up to the low 90s tomorrow afternoon with plenty of sunshine during the second half of the day. But check out the wind direction. North-northeast winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour, so a nice little breeze. What that wind direction is going to do as it hangs around tomorrow, even into the start of the weekend, is keep us from tapping into that moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. That means it's not going to feel too muggy out there as we get into Friday and the start of the weekend. That's going to keep our dew point numbers in the 50s for the next couple of days. They'll start to shoot back up early next week. It'll start to feel kind of muggy again. But this time of year, we have to really cherish these days where we can keep that humidity in check and keep it from feeling too muggy out there. So it'll be warm as we get into the weekend, but again, not overly humid. Early next week, rain chances do return, but we're starting to see our weather pattern change again, away from more active, away to conducive of more rain chances, to a bit more quiet here. We'll keep you updated on those early week rain chances, but I think the good thing here is a lot of folks got some much needed rain. Yes. We are looking good when it comes to drought. We're looking good when it comes to the aquifer. And if you've been anxious this week, just know you can take a breath and relax a bit this weekend.
Turn the faucet off.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Katie.
You're welcome.
We'll be back in just 1 minute. Stay with us.
It is just one of those institutions in San Antonio in South Texas, Morgan's Wonderland. And today it was revealed by the CEO and the founder that it would not be opening this year because of the coronavirus. We are joined live now by Gordon Hartman. Gordon, how tough a decision was this to make to not open Morgan's Wonderland this year?
Steve, it was probably one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make. And it wasn't just me making it. I want to tell you that there were a lot of people who were involved in this process because we talked to as many experts as we could, because Morgan's Wonderland being an ultra accessible, fully inclusive facility, also with the water park, we offer something different because of who we are and what we do. And so we wanted to make sure we picked up every rock, if you will, and said, is there some way we can make this happen? And after a lot of discussion, there's no way we could be true to who we are, and that is to ensure that 100% of the population could enjoy what we offer on a consistent basis, those with and without special needs joining together in play. Could we accomplish that? And we were never able to find that magical answer. And so for that reason, we had to make the decision that in 2020, based on COVID-19, we had to say time out right now.
Yeah, and for some people who've never been to Morgan's Wonderland, hands-on experience is such a big part of what happens for those with and without special needs.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, the idea is, when you think about COVID-19, that says keep a distance. Morgan's Wonderland, Morgan's Inspiration Island, everything we do is about coming together and having fun and learning from each other, whether you have special needs or not. And out of all the people who come in, about a quarter of the folks have special needs, 3/4 do not. And the beauty of it is everyone joining together. But when you look at the fact that many times those with acute special needs do attend Morgan's Wonderland, we would have to tell them no based on the circumstances. And we don't use the word no at Morgan's Wonderland. It's about everything as possible. And so for that reason, there was no way we could continue with what we're about under the current situation.
You have a huge expansion, too, of what I guess I would call the Morgan's Wonderland footprint with the camp and with the sports complex. What does this mean for the future of those endeavors and Morgan's Wonderland?
Steve, we had a meeting today with all the folks and went over everything as to how we're going to move forward. And I can tell you that I think we're going to be stronger and better from all this. This gives us an opportunity to just really put focus on some things that we've been talking about, but now we'll make sure we implement. It'll also allow us to look at things maybe that are different, but actually in the long run will be positive. But we're continuing, we're finalizing the new Morgan's Wonderland sports facility. In early 2021, we will open Morgan's Wonderland Camp, and we will also begin construction next year of the Multi-Assistance Center at Morgan's Wonderland, which is a 165,000 square foot multi-assistant facility to assist those with special needs. All these things are going forward. We're not backing up. All we're simply saying is based on the circumstances today, we need to take a time out, make sure we put no one in harm's way based on who we are and what we do, and know that we can take this opportunity to get stronger and better. That's what we're going to do here. I mean, there's so much where we are today versus where we'll be in 2 years based on all the things that we have going right now and will be starting very soon. And so Morgan's Wonderland and the whole concept of inclusion and ultra accessibility is about ready to take a multiplier effect in this community to help people from all over, not just this country, but this world. And so, as I've always said, we're just getting started, and none of that is being delayed, Steve.
What does it mean for the employees? I know you have a lot of volunteers who work out there, but I also know you have some members of the special needs community who work at Morgan's Wonderland and just some people employed there. What does it mean for employees? Are we talking layoffs, furloughs?
Well, what we wanted to do is, first of all, we wanted to make sure we did everything we could to ensure that those who are working there who have insurance, that they continue to have insurance that we offer them. Simply because of the fact that, as you know, a third of the people that we hire have special needs, and we did not want to do anything to hamper that. So we went through a furlough process versus an actual releasing of people. And, part of the reason for that, and we kept a good, strong crew that will be working very aggressively with us between now and when we reopen. Plus, as I mentioned, with the sports facility and being able to do some things there on a very limited basis when we, as we go forward, which we'll figure all that out. And then as we open the camp, so there's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of people we need to make all those things happen. And so this wasn't we locked the padlock today and walked off. This is a redirection, a reapproach, but to bring people into Morgan's Wonderland and Morgan's Inspiration Island would simply not be the right thing to do. And that's not who we are, and we're not going to change who we are. Our mission is to be ultra accessible, fully inclusive, and we're never going to walk away from that.
You're a parent of Morgan, of course, who was the inspiration for all of this. How has she been dealing with the pandemic, and what are you hearing from people today about the decision not to open this year?
Well, it gives me with your question, it gives me an opportunity to tell you how proud I am of Morgan.
Good.
If you would have asked me back in March when this all hit, and we were going to still be in this in May, how would Morgan be? And I would say taking away some of the things that she's used to doing on a consistent basis, seeing friends, doing certain things she can't do. It's been tough for her, but she's handled it like a champ. And I've had an opportunity to talk to parents and grandparents and caregivers during this period. And, you know, the thing I find that's most interesting, Steve, is that the attitude is absolutely incredible. They recognize this is a little bump in the road. This is not a long-term thing, and we'll get through it. And people with special needs many times rise above what expectations are. And we're seeing that right now in this community with my daughter, who I'm very proud to say, but also with so many in this community who are really just being absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they just enjoy life, and that's the thing. That's the thing I know I admire about Morgan is whenever I see her, she's just excited to be there in that moment, and that's something that I think we could all learn from.
She has quite a charisma and a smile that never stops.
That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, what's your final message? What do you want people to take from this conversation and from this decision today? I mean, you're also a businessman, and you take contributions, obviously donations at Morgan's Wonderland. I mean, the environment we're in and where we're heading. What do you want people to take from this conversation?
Well, obviously, Steve, this has been a big hit to us financially. We anticipate we'll lose a little over $1.3 million because of the COVID-19 in 2020. That is not a good thing because of the fact that we have been working very hard for a rainy day, and I can tell you it's pouring right now, and taking money out of that, which will basically deplete any funds that we had available for a rainy day. But that's okay. We'll find ways, and here's why I'm very confident. This community, and not just this community, but people from around this country and literally around this world participate with us. Without their participation, every time we open Morgan's Wonderland every year, and we've been doing it now for, this was going to be our 11th season, we've had it possible because people want to give, want to be a part of what we do, recognize that we offer something that's not offered anywhere else in the world. And because of that, it makes us available to people to say, hey, I want to be a part of that as well. And so if people do want to help, we would definitely be appreciative of that. But also, I will let them know that we are going to be back. We're going to be stronger because of the fact of the things that we talked about and the fact that that's how we do things. And the special needs community is strong, but not just the special needs community. Those who don't have special needs have come together in such a way of acceptance of what we are about. And joining that together, I know will make us stronger and better going forward. And so I think if there's anything to take away from this, is that we may be in the middle of the storm right now, but as of last night and even this evening, we've had some tough storms, but today it was pretty sunny. So once you get through the storm, it's pretty good. And so on the other side of this, I see nothing but positive. And so we're going to be better, and the people are going to allow for us to do that because they have been so committed to this since we opened some 10 years ago.
Gordon Hartman, Morgan's Wonderland, and the Hartman Family Foundation, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate the opportunity.
We'll be right back.
Now let's turn to today's top stories. Morgan's Wonderland will remain closed through 2020. The closure also extends to Morgan's Inspiration Island Splash Park. The theme park has been closed since March 14th and has lost an estimated $1.3 million. It's supposed to celebrate its 10th anniversary this year. VIA will resume fare collection next Monday. Customer information and ticker windows reopened last Wednesday for pass and ticket sales, and online sales are available through the VIA mobile app. VIA will continue to maintain a safe capacity with a maximum load of 16 passengers. Those older than 10 will still be required to wear a mask, and the essential service schedule will remain, along with temperature checks for all VIA employees entering a VIA facility. The Pearl is reopening its farmers market on Saturdays only starting June 6th. The online farmers market will continue with curbside pickup. Vendors and guests will be required to wear a mask and sanitizing stations will be available. Pets are no longer allowed. Meanwhile, the bottling department, the Pearl's food hall, will reopen its dining room on June 9th. They will operate at 50% capacity. Speaking of the Pearl, last week on KSAT News at 9, we told you about the relaunch of Pearl Beer. In tonight's Throwback Thursday, RJ Marquez tells us about the history of the Pearl Brewing Company and its signature beer.
The Pearl Brewing Company's roots in San Antonio can be traced back to the early 1880s, when brewer Yaroslav Belorotsky opened his city brewery and started to produce lager beer. Belorotsky operated the company for a few years, but ran into problems and sold it to a group of local businessmen, including Otto Kahler. In 1887, the brewery found its signature brew that exists today, Pearl Beer. Pearl Beer was formulated and first brewed in Germany. It was originally called Perlin for the bubbles at the top of a freshly poured glass.
It's always been a really cool tie back into German and Czech, brewing tradition, which is kind of what established the San Antonio Brewing Association.
When Pearl Beer came to the US, the spelling was changed to English. It also debuted with a set of triple X's before its name. The triple X's is a symbol that goes back centuries to designate the highest quality of brew by European monasteries. They are also a part of the recent relaunch of Pearl Beer.
We really were excited by things like the triple X's, that pre-prohibition signature of supreme craftsmanship that goes back to even medieval days.
Pearl Beer and the brewing company immediately became a leader in the industry. By 1916, Pearl was the largest brewery in Texas, with a capacity of 110,000 barrels per year. Prohibition halted the production of Pearl Beer, but under the direction of Emma Kahler, it bounced back in the mid-1930s and officially became the Pearl Brewing Company in the 1950s. It closed in 2001 and is now the Pearl Brewery Complex. This month's Pearl Beer relaunch was heavily influenced by its past and brings the story full circle.
One thing that really I think separates San Antonio from another, city in Texas and links it to some other iconic cities throughout the United States is it really owns its history and it is interwoven into the city so beautifully.
That was RJ Marquez. And while the Pearl Brewery complex is no longer associated with the brewing company, there are still many ways the complex pays homage to its history. Hotel Emma, for example, was even named after Emma Kahler.
If you're anything like me, it's time for a vacation, which is great because on KSAT.com we put together a great list of a lot of places in the San Antonio area that you can drive to for a quick getaway. Best part is a lot of these places, it involves things like camping, a lot of outdoor like lodge spots, things like that. The great thing with that is you can still stay distant from other crowds. These aren't places that get really packed. These aren't your usual tourist destinations. So it might be time to get out there, and why not, with the summer coming around, might be a good time to get out there, as long as you stay away from the crowds and stay safe, of course. Definitely check that list out on KSAT.com. With all the weather we've been having, Justin Horn went around San Antonio recently to show us the 4 places that are the most prone to flooding in San Antonio. Now, a lot of these places, these streets or roadways run over some creeks, and those creeks get inundated really quickly. If you're a San Antonio resident, you know this from experience, from any time it rains, basically. But he put together the 4 roads where it's most likely to flood. One of them, of course, is Pin Road and 151. Now, if you, this place might sound familiar, it's because a lot of high water rescues have happened there. We even have one linked in the story that you can go check out to see some incredible video. Again, that's on KSAT.com, so check that out. And lastly, speaking of the weather, it has been hailing both yesterday and reports of hail today as well in Kerrville. And we've had so many users send us photos, some videos of the hail pelting San Antonio and Kerrville. Some of these photos are so crazy it looks like it snowed as opposed to hailing. Just to show you how crazy Texas weather can be. I know luckily we got a nice weekend ahead of us, and of course we're all looking forward to that. So that's trending for today, and enjoy yourselves out there.
We're all obsessed with koalas in this newsroom. That was the greatest part of my day. Thank you for watching the news at 9. The Night Beat starts at 10. We'll see you then.